brothers gonna work it out. Work it out. Good God, two brothers gonna work it out. Work it out. Not one but two brothers gonna work. Not one but two brothers gonna work. Not one but two brothers gonna work. Not one but two.
What's good?
Ooh, we got the horn on early.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. How your week been, fam?
Oh, Trevor, hold on a second. I gotta take a moment right quick.
Okay. Talk about it.
You know why?
Why is that, fam?
Get to spend a couple minutes with my boy.
Yes, sir.
My brother.
Yes, sir.
The Podfather, Trevor Jackson. We up and awake. I hope that woke you up. Welcome to Two Brothers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got the Podfather, Trevor Jackson. Say what's up, Trev.
Hey, what's up, my blessed people? What's up, my blessed people this morning, man? We already got Jim on. Good morning, Jim. We got Nino Black, the third brother, on the podcast this morning. What's good, family?
Man, Nino is I don't even know. He don't even like that.
Talk to us.
No, he don't like it because he know I'm going with. I ain't gonna do that. But I know you seen the I know you seen, and I know Nino definitely done seen the movie.
Yeah,
Messiah.
Yeah, the Judas and the Black Messiah. That was a good. That was a real good film.
Strong stuff right there, man. And but like you said, how was your day, Trey? How was your day first? We got to start with you first, man.
Oh man, I've been extremely blessed, man. I've been extremely blessed. You know, I done got to a point where I'm taking vacations when I want to. You know what I'm saying? I'm off work. I'm chilling, fam. I'm looking good. I just worked out. I got worked out before the pod, so we can.
Dang, that's what I'm doing. He doing it seriously, people. We got a super lineup today, Trevor. He lit. He ready to go.
Oh, I'm big lit, man. Hey, whoever the Facebook user is in the comment section, what they got to do so we can know who they are, fam?
They got to make sure they use allow StreamYard to allow them to let them use their face and comments. I'm not gonna do it to you, Nino.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it to him. But it's all about, man. Nino would teach us a lot about what they say about leaders, black leaders. Does he not?
Yeah. Nino the man.
He done told us a lot about it.
Yeah. He done told us a lot, man. Nino done spit plenty of game on the Two Brothers podcast, family. He spit plenty of game.
Letting us know how, what happened to the black leaders at times, Trev?
They get killed by their own people. That's what happened to them all the time. My perception of it. I might be right, I might be wrong. Somebody correct me if they feel as if I'm wrong.
Do y'all think that's the case?
Yeah. In the comment section. But first of all, Troy, you didn't say how your week was, my brother. How was your week, fam?
Man, my week it's a good one every week because you're learning more about yourself every day.
Mm-hmm.
But, with all this going on in my hometown of Knoxville, man, it's been heavy on me.
Yeah.
In regard, but you know what it did show me though, Trev?
What it show you, fam?
Nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, ain't nothing new up under the sun. Ain't nothing new up under the sun
at all.
Yeah.
Because man, there's nothing new under the sun, man. Seeing, the same thing that we're talking. We did a pop-up podcast. Y'all didn't know.
Yeah.
Pop-up podcast. Who's listening?
Who's listening? That's what we asked. Who's listening?
And I had a moment this week where I said, I finally get what Trev was talking about.
Okay.
I finally get what Trev, not the fact, because Trevor's an introvert. Y'all know this. He one person I always talk about. We got two ears and you got one mouth, blah, blah. You need to listen more, listen. So I've been really working on my wife been trying to get on me about that for years anyway.
Yeah, that's a key thing to success in life. My opinion, fam.
But your opinion is fact. So I said, let me try something different and hear exactly what Trev was talking about. So, we watched that video. If you haven't seen it, go back and look at it. We watched the video, the interview, and I was listening to the people in the crowd. I said, because at first it was getting annoying to me because this person talking, this person yelling, this person talking. But I said, let me listen.
Okay.
And I learned that people are literally telling you what they want you to know. But they're not.
That's a fact.
They're telling you what they want you to know.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, at that moment, no, we can see your comments. No, we see your comments, but we want to know who the person is. So when we shout out or say, like, for example, Suzette, my mother left a comment on when Nino said facts. So when Ebony says the other you know, when she left her comment, we want to be able to actually say so and so said. So if you allow StreamYard to actually use your comment, you know, see your face and all that, but go over to YouTube. It's much easier. Go to YouTube.
YouTube, man. We'll see exactly who you is.
So so this week has been kind of heavy, but heavy in regards to emotional, mental stuff in regards to, man, what can we do to change things from where we from or what's going on in life? What can we do to change that? And the ultimate thing is, like Trevor say, who's listening?
Who's listening? Because the youth is the ones doing these things. And the people that's in position to make change, the people that's in political power, that's teaching, that knows a lot, that goes to those places after they leave that place, they ain't listening. They just speaking for the youth, but they ain't listening to the youth. That's just my perception.
Yeah. And all you gotta do is just listen just a tad bit and they'll tell you. But we got school is in session today. Classes in session today. We got 2 teachers in their own right.
Yeah.
We got Davett, who's a teacher in the financial industry.
And an author.
And we're gonna get now an author and all that stuff. Remember, so we had Gwen McKenzie on not too long ago, and she kept mentioning about this book we need to read and who we need to have on the show.
Yeah, the title sold me off top.
Go ahead, tell us the title and look at that. Who taught you how to be broke?
Who taught you how to be broke? Now,
we can't. I was gonna say what you've been saying all last night. Who taught you how to be broke?
that is addictive. That word, though.
It is addictive, but we on the education right now. Who taught you how to be broke? That book right there, that title in itself rang true in our mind. We said we got to get her on. And then we got Reggie Jenkins.
Yes, sir.
We gotta save the babies, man.
Got to save the babies.
We got that's what I remember a lot from him saying. We got to save the babies for one of his lives, though. So we're gonna bring them both on. We're gonna talk to both of them. We're gonna get their insight about what the business they're in, hear a little bit about their story, but then go ahead on to how they can make an impact to what's going on. So first, we're gonna bring in the confidant. She's confident, boy.
Okay. Talk to me.
Davett. We're gonna bring the confident Davett. Before we do that, though, she's an investment representative.
Okay.
Right. She has her own company, the financial. She got her own company. I done missed it. Oh, Life Vision Solutions. Creator of the Vision Vault, and I got to make sure I say that right. But she's the creator of the Vision Vault. It's a whole thing about the financial strategy with that.
Yeah.
You know, but one thing she's known about, though, is she's known for the fact that she's the anti-financial advisor.
Anti-financial advisor. She got to explain that to me.
She's an anti-financial advisor. You know, she's been in the financial industry for almost 20 years, man. So let's go and bring in Davett, man. Davett Jones, who taught you how to be broke? Welcome, Davett.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you, gentlemen. Good morning.
Look at her, ready to go. She excited. Got the Michael Jackson swirl going in the eye right there.
You better believe it.
Talk about confidant. She's confident.
Yes, sir.
So the fact it's interesting.
Let her talk now. Let her talk. Y'all got to be quiet.
Yeah, but look. You telling me to be quiet? I see what you're trying to do.
Oh no, I ain't trying nothing.
I see what you're trying to do. But now look, real quick. Davett, it's an interesting thing about Davett, though.
Break it down.
She likes Mortal Kombat.
Yes, of course. Who doesn't? Come on now.
She likes Mortal Kombat. Tell us a little bit about the fact that you like Mortal. You're a young lady.
I am a young lady, but see, I got a younger brother, so we had video games growing up in my house, and that was what we did. We sat around and we played video games from the first Atari 26 all the way up to NES. Like, that's what we did in the house. So Mortal Kombat came out, I had to finish him. Like, that was good. It got to the point like 92 when it came out. That was the year I was graduating from high school. So, what I'm saying? We didn't wrestle and tussle anymore. My brother, he a bodybuilder. Like, I knew better. So that was how I got to get it in on him. I could beat his ego instead of actually beating his, look at that.
Well, shoot. So go ahead, Trev. What you got to ask David before we get started?
Hey, so when we talked to Gwen McKenzie, I heard her mention the book. You know what I'm saying? I heard her mention the book, and the title was so like, it was powerful to me. It said, "Who taught you how to be broke?" Now, and when I heard that title, I said, I'm purchasing the book right when Gwen get off the podcast, and I went to Amazon and I purchased it. I done read the book twice, and twice. I read it today on the treadmill again, so I can have, properly communicate with you. But first of all, I want to know what inspired you to write the book.
My clients, they, sitting down with me, I'm a little different. So because I've been spending the last 18 years in this world, it was just so much. When I sat down with them, I was just spilling information. They said, it's too much. You need to write a book. You need to put it into a place where we can go back to it and use this as a roadmap to go forward. So I actually wrote the book about 3 years while I'm in my business, because I was really trying to take some of the key fundamental ideas of financial planning and put them in here in a plain and relatable way. The way that I tell the story about my mama with her iPad my mama with her iPad answering machine in the 80s, I think that's very relatable. We had a lot of stuff growing up, but every time you ask for some McDonald's money, it's like, oh, we ain't got no McDonald's money for that. Well, wait a minute now. So that's where I really wanted to take some of the stories that I've been seeing throughout the last 20 years and put them into a book and be able to help somebody else to be able to implement their financial plan in a more logical and special way.
What'd you just see? Somebody just sent you a message?
Yes.
What'd they say? Look, because this girl moving that neck. She moving doing all that. You can tell she classy. Look, this one thing we do, I know about her so far already. Look, and she got the advertise with the branding and everything. So she don't have no problem telling you like it is.
That's a fact.
I mean, you can, so when she says, you told somebody, I seen the video you did, and you said, look, take that money, 20% of that money, multiply by 25, and then
that's how much money you need for retirement.
How much money you need to retire? Then you said somebody come to you about $100,000. Well, I got $100,000 in my 401k. And you say, okay, well, you can take it $10,000 a year or something like that for 10 years and take your butt, put that blue vest back on and take your back to work.
Yeah, you can go on back to work.
Exactly. Because people don't know how money works. Like, we see big chunks of money. We see, if I tell you, oh, I got a really good discount on my car for $20,000. It was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's nice. You got a good price on your car. But the replacement key cost me $250. Woo, wait a minute. Like, that's a big number. How, Sway? It's real backwards.
The answer, Sway. You ain't got the answers.
But you get what I'm coming from? It's just like our conception of money is a little off. And that's where I just want to help people to get it into a better understanding. There's nothing wrong with money. I tell people I love money. I don't care what your pastor says. I love money. Money has been a wonderful tool for me. I use it every day of my life. So it's important that I get to know it, understand it, and use it most effectively, because I am going to need it every day for the rest of my life. And with that being the case, I need to date that money just like I would date a man. I need to know what the money wants, how to talk to it, when to touch it, when to be able to make it grow. That's real important.
You can't just go past it like we didn't hear what you just said. She just said how to make it grow. Go ahead.
Have a relationship.
Yes. You grow your relationship. You spend time with it. Your time might be doing your budget. Your time might be writing your goals list. Your time might be coming up with your strategic plan. You spend time with your money. You talk to your money. You tell your money what you want it to do. I want you to go buy me a new microphone for my podcast. I want you to go buy me a new book so I can enhance my personal development. I want you to go over here and buy me a new computer so I can use that for my graphic design. You have to tell your money where to go. So often we just get used to, and this is where the book, Who Taught You How to Be Broke? Our parents kind of had this idea of, all right, well, you get your hair done, you get your nails done, we go out to eat, we go on vacations, we do all these things. As soon as we get some money, our income tax checks come in, we buy Jordans, we go buy another car, we buy the rims. Like, we were buying all of these things that were essentially liabilities. And we were giving our money away. And when money is power, so when you give your money away, you give your power away. Ooh. Then by the time that we graduated from high school, nobody had any money for us to go to college. So we had to work, or we couldn't go to college, or we had to go into student loan debt. And then once we graduated from college, well, nobody had a job to give to us. So then, of course, now we got to go out here and struggle and find a job while we got this expensive ass degree. Now we're turning around and we're working. We got a good job. We do that for, say, 4 or 5 years. We start building a family. We start buying a house. We start looking at, we're almost 30, 40 years old. And then somebody says retirement or investing or generational wealth. And what you didn't know was you should have started your Roth IRA when you were 16 years old and you got your first job at McDonald's, because that money could have been growing and compounding with you over that 15-year time frame. And now you've got a huge asset, a bucket of money that you could be able to use to improve and enhance your life.
Preach now.
So apparently, people that's on this thing. Tommy never say good morning. Reggie talking about you love Nas.
I love Nas too. Yes, I do.
Apparently, you into the
That's my favorite artist. Don't be ashamed. That's my favorite artist too, David. That's my favorite.
That's what's up. I knew I liked you.
And then you got Nino over here going in to me. Oh my God, this girl. Oh yeah.
In the comment section going in.
But let me ask you this. So tell them about how you talk to the money. You got money laying all over the place, David.
Yes.
Tell us about that, because you're not scared of the fact you got money on you.
Yes, no. I mean, that's what you have to touch your money. You have to see it. It's a visual representation of my business. So just like anybody else would have a vision board and they would have Post-it notes or they would have motivation notes, I have $100 bills all over the place. I keep my money gun close at hand. I want to make sure that
is that real money coming out?
Mind your business. People know my address. Don't get me robbed. So But that's a part of it, is you keep the things that's in front of you that make the most sense or that's most important for you. So with me, I see the world through money. Every time we talk about Valentine's Day, I want to know how much money people spent for Valentine's Day versus how much they put into their Roth IRA accounts. When we think about the Super Bowl and all the commercials and the money spent, or even when the Super Bowl parties, people going out, buying foods, paying $50 to get into a venue, whatever the case may be, like all of those things translate back to money. And what I know to be true is that a lot of our net worths are not where they should be. And it's because of little things like that, where between Halloween and Valentine's Day, you buy cat mask and candy and, makeup. And then you get Thanksgiving, you're going to buy outfits to stand around in the kitchen. And then Christmas, you're buying gifts for people you don't like, you don't know. Then you go around for New Year's, you're going to go to the club and stuff. Then you got the MLK weekend. So you're going to make that a 3-day weekend and go up to Gatlinburg, up to the mountains. Then you turn around and Valentine's Day, you drop another $500 just to tell the person that you know. Like, that's all money that's going out. What do you have to show for
it? Nothing. That's crazy.
So go ahead.
Let me ask you something, fam.
I was question with this one.
I was reading something in the book too. You was talking about retirement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, like me, I think if a person is doing what they love, they'll never retire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
they'll never retire if they're doing what they love. So, what was your you were saying that you was real interested in retirement at an early age? Like, why was you so interested in retirement at an early age, though?
Well, I was interested into it for a couple of reasons. One, when you got your first job, my first job was at the zoo in Knoxville Zoo, in East Knoxville. And I was one of the concession stand people. And I tell you, after my first shift, honey, I was ready to retire. I mean, you think about it, from the first time you go to work, you're like, oh, I am over this. So how can I get rich so I can sit down and do what I want to do? And that's what's number two, is once you get a bucket of money that's saved up for your retirement goal, and retirement is a dollar amount. It's not an age. So that's when you can really live your best life. So I tell people I've been retired since I was 40. I've not collected a paycheck, an employee paycheck, in more than 2,000 days. So being able to say, I am using my money to be able to live out my purpose. This is my purpose. This is my ministry. And truthfully, I will probably never retire from doing this. They say your purpose is what you would do when you weren't making any money. Baby, let me tell you, there was a couple of years I wasn't making all that money, but I still love this, and the message and the ministry that I have, I want to be able to help other people. And over time, because I continued to put my money into it, my time and my energy into it, then it grew. And now my daughter, she is an agent with me as well as me having about 8 or 9 other agents all across the country. So that just allows me to be able to have more flexibility, as well as keeping a constant income stream. And even still, some people aren't going to be business owners. That's just not their path. That's not how they're built. And that's okay. I want to still help them to be able to have enough money to go on their cruises. I want them to have money to go fishing. I want them to have money to go hiking. I want them to be able to lay on the beach in Bermuda. I want them to have money to live their best lives. I want them to have money to be able to set a legacy aside for their children and grandchildren, so they can volunteer at the church, so they can be able to be so more impactful in our community. Like, that's some people's mission. And all of these things, every single bit of it requires money. So,
no, I like you didn't see that comment, David. You seen that comment?
What did it say? I didn't see it.
It hurts to run for office for real. Got people
Money is my middle name. Yes, it is.
But you said you run for office though. Oh no, we got it. Whatever, we got it now.
Okay. They said they need you to run for office, and I bet you give people energy, David. Like, it seems like you got good positive energy, and when people be in your presence, they get energized and they want to go get them a bag also.
That's what I love. I want us not to have a negative connotation when we think about money. So often it's like, I'm broke, I ain't gonna have this, and ain't nobody never taught me. Like, no, dead that. I don't want that to be the narrative for us anymore. So we have to learn how to get rid of our money blocks, our self-limiting beliefs, and really walk in our truth. And once you're walking in your truth and your purpose, you do have a sense of joy. And that joy, can nobody give it to me, can nobody take it away. So I'm excited to be able to share that. Well, let's say a candle don't lose its light by sharing it with somebody with another candle. So I'm happy to share my light.
So, when did it come to a point where it clicked to you, though, David? When did it click for you? What day? I mean, I know you said you worked at the zoo, but you was younger and said, I'm tired of this. But when did it click to say, man, somebody taught me to be broke? When did it click for you?
So, it's like when I was at Applebee's waiting tables as a realtor. Now, mind you, I already gone to college and I was working and I'd had some really good professional jobs and I'd made some great money, but I was working at K-Jams and I was
K-Jam. I heard that.
I was an account executive for K-Jams, and my contract was terminated. So I had my real estate license and I was selling houses by the evening. But of course, and this was also 2002 that I had my real estate license. So mind you, when I first came back to Knoxville from Memphis, I didn't realize y'all had no money. Y'all wasn't ready to buy houses. So I had to go to Applebee's so I would be able to put a little pocket change between commissions. And I ended up getting recruited while waiting tables at Applebee's for this job in financial services. So that's the first part. When I actually got to the job, I didn't know what I was doing. I was literally just sending out invitations and, kind of doing my $8 an hour job. Shoot, I was balling $8 an hour. So then, especially in 2002, right? Ooh. So then I actually went to the first seminar, and it was a financial professional. She sat down and she said, what if you could take a $50,000 CD that you have at the bank, have it double in case of death, triple in case of long-term care, be able to have that money grow into the stock market, never worry about losing that money again, never get another 1099 on that money, and ensure that you could use it for opportunity and emergency in your lifetime? Would that be of interest to you? Every hand in the room went up, including mine, and I did not have a $50,000 CD. I went back to work the very next day and I said, baby, I don't know what that was she was talking about, but I want it. Because what I knew to be true is everybody that was in that room, they had assets of $500,000 or more. And if they wanted it, I needed it. That's the day it clicked. That's the day I retired my real estate license. That's the day that I knew that I didn't know enough about money, and that's where I needed to be.
So you got something to say because you locked in.
No, because I got real estate license and I'm listening to her real well now about this money now.
She said folks was broke in Knoxville. They weren't ready to buy no house.
She ain't lying.
But she said the key thing though, real quick. She said that I was getting paid $8 an hour and I was balling off $8 an hour.
That's balling in Knoxville.
I want to ask her a question then. Trevor, you remember what you just said? That's balling in Knoxville.
Mm-hmm. At that
this
time.
This is 2002, Mike.
No, hold on a second. But Davett, what are your thoughts on minimum wage?
I think the minimum wage definitely needs to be increased. I'm absolutely for minimum wage being increased. The cost of living right now is extraordinarily high. And with that being the case, that did not come out right, did it? The cost of living is extraordinarily high. So with that being the case, we need to be able to pay a living wage that allows people to live comfortably. What people say $15 an hour, that's still $30,000 a year. That ain't a lot of money. The median income in the U.S. is about $42,000. So even $15 an hour isn't enough for people to just live.
So that's exactly. I thought you were going to go to the direction of saying people is depending on how it's all relative to the person in regards to what's living to them. Because you can wage the minimum wage to $100 an hour, but there's still never enough. And their mindset is on the minimum. They're going to just live $400 an hour.
That's fact.
That's. But you just said a key thing. You said that, but that's not no money still.
Mm-hmm.
It's still out to you what you're going to end up doing, because you can give somebody something all the time, and and it's all about what they make it, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now, another fun fact for you: if you and your spouse combined made $40,000 for the last 25 years, you already made $1 million. What you got to show for?
God, why? Let me turn it back up. Why she shooting at him like that, man?
Hit the gunshot twice, Troy. That was they already made $1 million. Now you said something though you said something about $1 million, but taxable money. You put down something about taxes in the book that I was reading. The knowledge about taxes, why people need to know about taxes, and I see folks was mad at Trump and all of that when he was the president, because he was very knowledgeable about taxes. He only paid $750 a year, but he knows some things. That's why he could do that. So tell us like your thought process of why people should be knowledgeable about taxes.
Because the United States government is a broke corporation that is going bankrupt every day and has no ability to make money outside of printing it. So what they tend to do is they increase the taxes, and that's where inflation goes up. That's where it's so hard to be able to live in this country, because we are constantly giving a portion of our money to the United States government. Now, we of course do need to use that money for roads and hospitals and all these wonderful social benefits. But the reality of it is taxes, if you don't like them taking taxes out of your paycheck right now, how you gonna feel about it when they taking taxes out of your retirement check when you 60 and 65 years old and that's all the money you got and you can't work?
Yeah.
Because that's the reality. People are so used to getting income tax refunds, and we're so conditioned to be able to say, well, taxes and death are the only thing that's certain in life. But the reality of it is, if you learn how to legally stockpile money outside of the reach of the government, then you won't have to pay as much as taxes, and you can have more money in your pocket for you to live your best life.
Mm-hmm. Now, can I say something? Can a person who don't want to be an entrepreneur, just a person, I'm cool working at the dollar store, can I complain about my taxes?
You most certainly can. You can, even still, even if you're working at the dollar store, you are still paying taxes on the food that you buy at the grocery store. You still paying taxes on gas. You still paying taxes on all these different things. So yes, you have the right to complain about your taxes. Just because you're making $10, $12 an hour doesn't mean that that you pay less taxes when you go to the grocery store. So I can afford it more because I make a higher income, but it's harder on you for them to take that extra 9.75%, 9.25% every time that you go spend $1. Okay.
Well, I mean, class is in session, but I got one more question to ask before we get ready to let her do her thing because she got money to go make. She got $100 bills laying all on the floor. She ain't just getting them out of thin air.
Yeah.
Davett, you mentioned something about the 7 accounts that every adult should own.
Yes.
Touch on that right quick, and then I want you to touch on the Vision Vault. And then, did you create the Vision Vault, or was that you just elaborated on it? Tell us about that too.
Absolutely. So the 7 accounts that I believe people should have are your checking and savings account, because you definitely want to be able to have your money that you pay your bills with, and you also want to be able to have your money that you are using for opportunities and emergencies, right? So the next one that I have on there is your Roth IRA. I believe when you get your first job, you're supposed to have a Roth IRA. Don't argue with me about it. You're just supposed to do it. The third one is you're supposed to have your 401k, and that's when you go to your employer and they give you your free match money. And if you plan on being an employer for 3 to 5 years, then go ahead and get that money. That's the one thing that I'll say about the 401k money is that they take that money out of your paycheck before you get it. So that means you have that money that's growing and compounding because they make you do what? Pay yourself first. See, I believe we can pay ourselves first without our employers forcing us to do it. But the principle of it is because they pay you, they pay your investment account before they pay you. That's the reason why most people have money in a 401k. But the thing about the 401k is taxable. So there's a proper place and time for that. And that's really for high income earners. And also I talk about it in the book. The 401k was never created to be a retirement vehicle. It was created to be a tax deferral vehicle. But I digress. The next, I believe that everybody needs to have is a $50,000 cash value permanent life insurance policy. I believe everybody needs to have that. Argue with your mama, not me. Number 4, you need to, number 5, you need to have a disability, a HSA, or a long-term care plan, because Superman fell off a horse. So you can have all these ideas in your mind of what you're going to do, but life has a strange way of happening to people every day.
Yes.
And you need to, number 6 is you need to have an annuity. You need to have something that's going to create a guaranteed income stream for the rest of your life. Anybody that you know that's retired successfully from the post office, from the military, from a teacher, from the NFL, they all have a pension plan. A pension plan is an annuity. So make sure you have something that is going to give you a guaranteed income stream for the rest of your life, besides the annuity that the government runs that's already going broke, which is called Social Security.
That's fact.
So you all actually kind of have an annuity already. Just make it work better. And number 7 is a brokerage account. Being able to have a place where you can grow some stocks, some mutual funds, some EFTs, where you can have some risk, more risk inside of your portfolio, and you can have a little more flexibility with that account. So each of these different accounts, they can be used in various aspects of your life. You just can't have money in one bucket and expect that to divvy out. You need a bucket that is going to be for protection. You need a bucket that's going to make you interest. See, I'm a huge proponent of using money that's making me interest instead of money that I have to pay interest on. And that's why I don't give a care about credit or debt. I know. I don't care nothing about your credit score, because credit is nothing but the illusion of saying that you're good with money.
Now that was $1 million worth of game right there. $1 million worth of game.
The Vision Vault, Davett.
Okay, so the Vision Vault. The Vision Vault was that $50,000 investment that I was telling you about, that I heard about in 2002. And over the years, I have been able to study it and work with different companies and figure out how to implement this in people's lives. Because what I found out was, when I went back to work the next day, and I told her, I said, I don't know what that is, but I want it, and I don't have $50,000 on a CD. We started mine at $50 a month. So being able to have that investment to be able to grow and compound, it also addresses 3 to 4 of the 7 different accounts if it's set up properly. I have now gotten with a lot of companies that will let you go in and pull the money out of your vault within a 30-day time frame if you are funding it properly. You can avoid taxes. You can use that money to pay for a kid's college education. You can use it for buying your business. You can use it for a first-time home purchase, or even a real estate portfolio that you want to be able to invest in. You can use it for legacy and generational wealth. It is the most phenomenal vehicle And I know I'm gonna say the sexiest word in the world is life insurance.
Ooh, why you gotta make the note? Let's look at this.
That was the sexiest word in the world now.
Everybody has that word.
It is. I mean, when you talk about life insurance, it's one of the oldest investments. It absolutely is always been able to do what it said it's going to do. It's guaranteed. You don't have to worry about it going up or down. When you put in a couple of $100, it pays out hundreds of thousands of dollars. Come on now. What is sexier than that? You can have it grow in the stock market. You have index policies that are still based on the S&P 500, just like your Vanguard Target 2050 fund. It's growing, but you don't lose money when the market goes down. You can use that money in your lifetime. Remember the Gerber commercials? Have you started saving for your kids' college education? Well, of course, we have the Gerber Grow Up plans. See, I sell grown-ass Gerber Grow Up plans. And that way, people are able to use that money for not only the college education, but every other vision that they have in their life. And with that being the case, you can take credit off the table. You can take taxes off the table. You can take penalties off the table. All the things that we have historically watched take our money from us, get that power back.
I'm done.
She said she sell grown up Gerber.
No, she didn't say grown up. What she say, Trevor?
Grown up Gerber.
Grown up. No, what she say? Say it, David. Say it again. Say it again. I sell grown up.
I sell grown ass Gerber Grow Up plans.
Grown ass. Grown ass Gerber Grow Up plans. Hey, I can't say nothing else. I'm speaking.
The girl are dropping bombs on him, man. She's shooting at him.
We got to tell the people.
Let me say one more thing. Can I say one more thing about life insurance?
Please.
You know who has the least likely percentage? Because we know there's a correlation between crime and poverty, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know who has the least likely percentage of going out and committing crimes?
Who was that?
Trust fund babies. I'd like to see more Black trust fund babies. Right? Mm-hmm. You know who has the least?
It's all good. Oh, it's all good. Trust fund babies. Why is it? Because they ain't got nothing to worry about? My wife done got on her, gave you a shout out to about right. She right, and right.
Thank you, mommy. I love you.
Man.
Go ahead, Trev.
Hey, you got to tell the people how they can get in touch with you so they can learn more, where to purchase the book at, because I'm going to read it again after this conversation. And how they can link up with you, David. How can the people link?
You can go to my Facebook page and you can add me, Davett Jones. You can also go to my website, which is lifevisionsolutions.com. My favorite version of it is IamWealthyNow.com. IamWealthyNow.com, because I do believe in positive money affirmations. So my domain name is one of my own positive affirmations and mantras. And you can always reach out to me on Instagram, Miss Wine Money, TikTok, Miss Wine Money. But I'm here. I'm all over. You can go onto the websites, click the link. You can book an appointment with me. We can do it virtually by phone. I work with clients all over the country. So it's been so wonderful to have the opportunity to serve people from California to New York to DC and, back down to Georgia. So I'm super excited that my ministry is actually reaching people. And of course, ask a friend. People know about me. Hey, Gemma, I know your real name.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Well, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming through. Tell us about
you. Thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate you guys. You rock. Thank you. Yay.
Thank you. And we're going to put all the links that David said you can link up with her at in the description at the end of the podcast.
There it is. Appreciate you. Go get it.
Yeah. Hey, boy. Hey. Whew. She lit, fam.
Oh, she way past lit.
She lit, fam.
She done burnt up. That girl out here moving the shoulders. She getting it going.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be telling folks to get your broke butt back to work.
That's right. You what she say, fam? 40,000, 25 years. What's that?
The million. So you already had been a millionaire. Folk, well, we already know. Well, we ain't talking about you. Don't you know her face like, yeah.
Yeah, she the real deal. And we everybody that's looking at the podcast on Facebook, we can't see your name. And I'm on a fast from Facebook. I'm fasting from Facebook. I've been off of it since February started. If you on Facebook, go to the YouTube so we can read your comments out and post them on the page. Two Brothas Podcast, the way it's spelled in the logo. Go to YouTube. We appreciate your support and thank you.
We gotta let that die just a little bit before we bring Reggie on.
We gotta let it die. I can't wait to talk to Reggie.
No, we gotta bring it's about digest me just for 1 second. The fact that just dropped the bomb she said is that talking to your money.
Talking to your money.
Talk to it and help it grow.
You're a fool, fam.
All right, then let's go ahead and get ready to bring Reggie in. Look. So Reggie, the founder and executive director of Unique Academy in Knoxville, Tennessee. Now,
yes, sir.
They help children and youth between the ages of 5 and 15. So the big thing is he out there changing lives, impacting lives every single day. And he also has a big connection to Vine Middle School in the East Side where all the stuff has been going on.
We got to talk to Reggie.
So we're going to welcome to the stage now. Welcome to the stage. Welcome to Two Brothers. Welcome to the comfy couch, virtual comfy couch. Reggie Jenkins.
Hercules.
Reggie Jenkins is in the building. Everybody know who Reggie is.
I can't follow Davett. She just brought the thunder. So how can I follow that?
But she brought the thunder and she brought the financial education.
Yeah, she's great.
But then what we got a mathematician on the line right now as well.
Oh, I ain't gonna say all that, man.
Oh yeah, that's when you know somebody's smart, don't you? That's when you know somebody's smart. Hey,
Yeah.
how smart are you? I'm pretty smart. But this guy went to UT. He went to UT and he actually majored in mathematics and all that stuff. So he's gonna tell us all about that. But welcome to the show, Mr. Jenkins.
Thank you for inviting me. I love you all show. I follow you all. It's a great platform. Y'all are going to do great things. I just hope y'all remember people like myself in 5 years when y'all just international with this thing.
Well, we'll never forget you, family. We ain't gonna forget
at all. I mean, so the unique thing about it though, so we're gonna you born in, I mean, you actually raised in Memphis, but you're actually, fun fact of him is that he actually was born in West Germany.
Yeah, my dad was in the military, and my family is from Mississippi, and they moved to Memphis when they were very young. And my dad was in the military. We were stationed in West Germany. That's back then. It was West Germany, East Germany. Of course, in the 80s, they tore the walls down, so it's just Germany right now. So my mom went to visit, and I popped out, man. And you know, I was born there and stayed there for a few months, and they came back. But I'm originally bred in Memphis, born in West Germany, bred in Memphis.
Born and bred in Memphis, doing it big. So you came from Memphis and moved on down to Knoxville. Well,
you know, in high school, I went to high school, and you know, most of the young people I was associated around, they was going to college. I didn't know anything about college, and none of my family at the time have graduated. Some of them went and didn't finish, and so I didn't really have like a good guidance or direction. And so I was like talking to a buddy of mine, like, "Where are you going to school?" He's like, "UT." I said, "Well, I guess I'll apply for there too." So I applied. Now this is another fun fact. It's a crazy fact, and this is why our children need guidance. I ran track. I was an athlete in high school, basketball, but track was my thing. I did long jump, high jump, relays, and all that stuff. So I had a scholarship to University of Memphis and Rose College, but I just wanted to get out of Memphis so bad, and I ignored. I just turned that down. Bad decision on my part. Well, there's no such thing as bad decisions. You make your decision, you learn from it. So long you learn from your decision, it's all good. But you know, Davett was talking about student loans. I got up in that and came to UT, and you know, got a degree in math and statistics. But you know, again, that guidance piece I didn't have. I just, you know, making decisions on my own, and those are the decisions I wish I could have altered.
Yeah,
you just said that the Rhodes College. You got to let people know how important, how real deal Rhodes College is out in Memphis.
Yeah, Rhodes College is a small university, but it's one of those private elite universities. Similar to like maybe a Vanderbilt, but it's just a smaller version of it. And again, I'm 17, 18. I didn't know Rhodes from a can of paint, but I know they want to offer me a scholarship in track in the University of Memphis. But Rhodes College is a pretty big deal. Matter of fact, another fun fact is 2 of the young people that I work with, they're grown now, because I've been working with young people for about 28 years. So 2 of the people, they married, Eric Stokes and Jamil Stokes. I'm going to shout them out. Eric Stokes he's from Knoxville, went to UT Chat. When he was 18, I was working with both of them. They went to UT Chat, graduated, got their PhD. He's the director of admissions at University of Memphis, and she works at Rhodes College. So, everything full circle.
Yeah. That's wow.
They both from Knoxville.
And they went back to where you're originally from.
Yep.
Oh, man.
We still keep in contact because I did a couple years ago before COVID, I do a college tour. So I take a group of young people from here and our tour, we went to University of Memphis, Lemoyne-on, Fisk, and TSU. And so I connected with them when I was down there. So.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes, like you mentioned, that a lot of times you actually wish you had someone guide you in some direction, but you had to make the decision for yourself. But apparently those decisions end up being the right thing.
Yeah.
What made you want to get an education? Whether someone say, hey, man, I'm going to teach. You said, well, you know what? I'm going to teach too.
Yeah. I think a big factor in my education, being an educator, my father was a barber. He's a teacher and a barber. He got his license to teach and be a barber. So when I was growing up in junior high and high school, he was cutting hair. And it was cutting hair in North Memphis, part of Memphis. And, subconsciously as a child, children follow what they see more so than what you say.
Yeah.
And so subconsciously, I'm seeing him in his relationship with these kids, these young males and stuff. And, I look back on it, he was teaching them, he was cutting their hair, but he was into history and he was teaching, he was educating. So, I'm in there sweeping. I go in there Saturday morning, sweep the floor, clean up, whatever. That kind of thing. But on an environment, it was an educational environment. And so it just rubbed off on me in college. I was that type of dude in college, because I grew up in the era of, when hip hop was like Tribe Called Quest, PE, BDP, KRS-One, Eric B and Rakim, Different World. So all of that, and we in college, it was proud to be black, and all that stuff was just hitting us. And I started reading and discovering myself. And I just like working with people, particularly people younger than me. Mm-hmm. And so I always had that kind of characteristic, but my father kind of helped. He was that model beforehand to help bring that out.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned the key thing about people kids are actually basic products of their environment.
Okay.
Right. Yep. So and then if you don't give me any direction or tell them basically, telling them what they're going to do, like actually concentrate on those type of skills. Like my son, my son is like definitely into building stuff. Like I truly believe he's going to be an engineer in some facet. Mm-hmm. I mean, this guy takes some train tracks and build a whole interstate. You know what I'm saying? He get cars. He's very meticulous about how things are lined up.
Yeah.
So my wife and I are really gearing towards, push them to those directions of in that realm, educational wise. And like my daughter really inclined to music and into performing arts type stuff, where it's like I'm seeing them grow. We're seeing them grow to say, let's push them toward that direction. Like if you see someone that plays sports, you see somebody got a mad handle or play things good, you're like, man, I'm gonna try to make sure he in basketball or she's in basketball or tennis or whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes sometimes a lot of people actually just let them just grow and let them figure it out themselves. And sometimes you might want to direct them and guide them, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? You're so spot on, but I can see talent in a child like 4 or 5 years old, man. I've been around children so long. You can just leave a child in this space and just watch them interact or play or whatever. And they telling you who they are.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
my son is 5. My daughter's 4. So that's why I'm able to see and we let them do their thing, and now you can just say, go this way, go this direction, go and guide them.
And that's the key in solving the problems that we're having in Knoxville.
Okay.
It's having those spaces and environments where a child can experience and grow and develop on their own, because we're all born with innate talents. You know what I'm saying? Like you mentioned sports. I believe there's an imbalance in our community. We always, if you talk to the average 15, 16-year-olds, 3 things they're talking about: rapping, or football, basketball, or if they ain't out here on these streets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but that's because that's all the exposure. If they watch TV, they watch TikTok, they watch this. And if we don't create environments to where, we can have a young STEM camp and have 4 or 5-year-olds playing with blocks and, Legos, because they have like these places out west where they have a Lego store, and they bring like the private schools and the suburban white moms take their kids to these little Lego camps and stuff like that. But that's a junior engineer camp, and they start as early as 4 or 5 years old. Our children are exposed to that. Now, I'm not saying you can't play ball or do this and that. I'm just saying it's an overemphasis, because after 9th grade, you can tell whether this child's going to get a scholarship or not.
Yeah, I'm not good. They might not be.
What are the options? We got to provide more options. We'll let them play out, and then they become a senior and be like, man, I ain't got no options out here. So, and at that age, 14, 15, it's all about money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because mom is I'm hungry, mom is struggling, the environment we're in. So I'm realizing I got to step up. How I'm going to step up?
Yeah.
That's the only way I know how. And so if we create environments where 3, 4, 5-year-olds not just sit in a daycare, but learn something and naturally develop, hone them talents and skills that you can see at a 4 or 5-year-old. I'm telling you, you can literally see these geniuses at 3, 4, 5 years old, man. We just ain't provided enough opportunities to let them grow and think out. And that means adults, we have to think outside of the box. We can't, too many of us adults see the world a certain way, and then our children mimic it.
We still view it as like some adults still view things as a child. They still only see those certain amount of options. They see limits and its limitations, so they can't show a child all the options that's available to them. And
then the thing about, I'm in Knoxville, man, and there's a lot of opportunities here. Even, let's just say, going to Gatlinburg and just going to the Smoky Mountains, just kicking it. Well, how many black people are leaving Knoxville doing that? If they go in that direction, they're going to the shopping malls. And I'm not saying all people, but I'm just saying something as small as that. East Knoxville has the Muse, and it's a STEM type thing right next to the zoo. And ever since my child, I got a 7-year-old, ever since he was born, we was going there. But the majority of kids we see, because I homeschooled my child until I developed my own school, the only children I saw for the most part were white kids. I'm not saying black kids didn't go. I'm just saying the majority of the kids who was there, in the majority of schools. So those are options. So Knoxville has little things in it that our children can, get from. The libraries has a lot of options. They do little, like when I was talking about the Lego blocks, they do, prior to COVID, they was doing all these things. But we have to get outside of ourselves and take advantage of whatever little resources we have as a people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I mean, you saying some key things about really basically someone's making a decision for themselves. One thing that's been hard when you have a child having a child, it's gonna be tough. And I had to back up myself because hold on, my mom had when she was 16. Yeah. But you had to end up learning, you had to make decisions quicker. Yeah. And sometimes we don't have the luxury, the background that Trevor and I'm from, and even though you're more of you got the background where it's like you said, you didn't have running water at your granny house. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You had to go through some things as well. Sometimes we don't actually have the space to even do those things.
Let's say this one thing, Troy. Black people are communal people. If you look at our history from Africa and even in most of America, no accomplishments was made on like an island. It was a communal thing. 16-year-olds been having babies since. Yeah, you know even in Africa, they've been having babies. The problem now is we don't have that grandmama, that granddaddy, that village. So when that 16-year-old is having, we offset the things. We help her out. You know what I'm saying? Because my grandparents played a vital role in my development. And, you know, and Troy is referring to on another interview I did when I was growing up in Memphis. From the time I was a little boy, my parents, both my mom and dad, have known each other all their lives because they grew up in a small town called Duncan. And so the families knew each other. And so what happened was my grandparents lived a half a block away from each other. And so as a child, they would ship me down there for the summer. And my grandparents, they had me both summers. So I could walk from one granny's house to the next granny's house. One granny had running water and a toilet. The other granny had an outhouse and a big steel tub. You know, one granny had chicken and roosters. The other granny had all these gardens and all this kind of stuff. And so I learned through them, but my grandparents played a vital role. So a lot of the children growing up, they missing that now. They missing that mature seasoned big mama. I'm not talking about, 35, 40-year-old big mama who still want to kick it like the 20-year-old child. Yeah. I'm talking about somebody seasoned, been there, done that, tell you to sit down and mean it, you know what I'm saying? And will tell you up if you didn't do it. Just brought that stillness to that child, brought that wisdom to that child. A lot of these children are not getting that nurturing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not tripping off young parents because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I know 40 and 50-year-olds trying to act like they 20 and 30-year-olds. Yeah. They got kids and the kids are raising themselves. And now I'm not talking about just the hood. I'm talking about West, South, so because people, when they think of violence and crime, and they think of what's going on, that's the poor black people. No, man, we all going through, sugar, honey, iced tea. Some of us got enough, little bit more crumbs to cover it up. So it's not being exposed.
What's crazy about you saying that, I'm sorry to stop you, sir, but what's crazy about you saying the crime and violence, it ain't just only happening in the inner city. Yeah. So why is it being promoted so much in the inner city? It's not being promoted down there in Turkey Creek, and them folks committing just as much crime.
Well, see, there's different types of crime. Okay. Like, when you see poverty, extreme poverty, you're going to see more outwardly things going out in the streets. When you got suburbs and those are different types of crime. You're talking about domestic, they pushing weight out there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They can get on the horn and shut that down before the news get to it. You know what I mean? So, because I remember somebody told me years ago, back in the day, I think somebody was working for the police force. It was like, man, it's more weed out in Powell than it is out East Knoxville. Now, this was years ago. Mm-hmm. I got people who, I try to keep myself connected with people. You know what I'm saying? So I want to keep my ear to what's going on. And, if something going down, I can call 2 or 3 people and say, okay, what's the backstory? You know what I mean? And they'll feed me the backstory or whatever. So
black folk got that person on. They got them people all the time. One thing folk be finding out what's be going on. Yeah. May not be in the street, it may not be in the news, but they know what's going on.
But another aspect of it is anytime a group wants to gentrify totally in the area, crime is going. You like in the 90s, if you looked at LA in the 90s, Watts and all that stuff, they had all this crime going on. Chicago, Southside Chicago years ago, and soon thereafter, the whole area changed. You know what I'm saying? And so in America, this is the real deal. America is a violent country. It was born in theft, blood, and murder. It was born that way, and it makes money and maintains that. It's just now our children are the victims of those intergenerationals, that societal thing, and it just so happens also black people, black children are born in poverty. They're born in despair. They're born in hopelessness. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Disproportionately, if you go anywhere, man, Chicago, I'm from Memphis, same deal, and it's just that poverty, that despair, that came from urban removal 40, 50 years ago. So a lot of this stuff is structural and systemic. They want to just point the finger and just lock these babies up. But again, you can lock a 17-year-old, you can lock a 15-year-old up. I'm not saying that if a person doesn't commit a crime, he or she shouldn't be punished for it. Mm-hmm. But what I am saying is you lock that 17-year-old, I guarantee you, I know 10, 8, 7, 8, 9-year-olds who follow in suit. So the problem ain't going away.
Yeah.
You know, because you're not bringing preventive measures to stop what's going on out here. Because I've been in Knoxville 30 years. Y'all from Knoxville. Back in the 90s, it was popping. You know, in the early 2000s, it was popping. And then you got Xavier Dobson, that era. That stuff happened. And now we're back here. And they do the same. It's insanity because kids get killed, people are upset, and people should be upset. The government, cities, officials, press conference, town hall meetings, 2-3 weeks later, going to the next thing.
Go ahead, hit it with it, Trevor.
You know, going to the next thing. And so, like, people ask me, I'd be like, I'm not, like, I have a guy's reporter. He calls me every time something happens. And he wants me to just like, no, I'm not doing this. For what? I want preventive measures. I want something that's going to stick. I don't want to just get on and trip on my ego and put me on. I don't want to be on the news. I don't want to talk. Some people like that kind of intention. I don't. I want the children to grow up in a healthy, safe environment. I want these parents to be helped. We need trauma centers. Every school should have a trauma center. Every school should have a counseling outside of guidance counseling. You know, our parents need parental classes. I mean, I'm a parent. I'm seasoned. I still got to learn stuff on the fly. Y'all parents, you know, you don't know everything, and it'd be cool if you had some elders to guide you through that process. You know what I'm saying? Somebody to listen to you and guide you. There should be women's group doing that. There should be men's groups doing that. There should be couples groups doing that. Like when my wife and I first got married, we had this couples. I'm not a big religious person, but I would go to like these marriage counseling or these marriage groups. Once a month, we would get together and there'd be people who have been married for a while and we learn from them and we could share our experiences. I can tell the fellas stuff and they can identify with what I'm going through in marriage, you know, but we don't have a lot of that no more. You know, people need support. These children need that. You know what I'm saying? They need a lot, like we was talking about earlier. Who's listening to the children? Don't just wait till somebody die and be like, okay, give the children a forum. No, when you see a child, how are you doing?
Yeah.
What's going on? You know, Troy, you got 2 kids. You know, we're going to have dinner and y'all tell me what's up. You know what I'm saying? And do that when they teenagers, because see, this is what happens with a lot of times as our children get older, we give them more space, but we don't pay as much attention to them. No, when you're 14, 15, 16, that's when you got to be like, own it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You need to know who their friends are. You need to invite their friends over to dinner. You know, you need to tell your son and daughter friends, or your kids' friends, this is my expectation for my son and daughter. So for you to hang out with them, you know, this is what and so if you get into something, I'm gonna get on you and them.
Yeah.
Well, that's the old school thought process. Now you get on somebody, you're going to, who you talking to? That's not my child. That's not
but these are your kids' friends. So typically you're gonna already they already know who you are. Right.
You
know I'm not saying those kids are just in the streets or whatever. I'm just saying the circle you can control, which is your children and your children's school and your teachers and stuff like that. So that's what I'm talking about. And that's how you promote the change that we need. And the children have to, like, I have a school. My kids tell me I make it open to them so they can check me because I don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? And I tell them, I said, man, if I'd offended you or disrespect you, you know, pull me in the hallway or give me a lunch and say, Mr. Reggie, I didn't like such and such. Or tell your parent and we can have a conversation. And then I'll tell the parent and I'll tell him, you know what, I apologize. That wasn't my intent, you know. And for the most part, children like that. They're like, you know what, he was respecting me. I'm a human being. I can voice my opinion. Unlike school, you say something to a teacher. You can't debate with a teacher in school.
Hey, you know what's? I'm gonna tell y'all something crazy that I learned from my nephew recently that y'all saying, because I don't have children, right? So I told my nephew, like, I'm 40 years old. I told him that I don't know everything, nephew. I can learn from a 3-year-old. When I told him that, his whole perspective changed. He can tell me anything now. He talked to me about anything. He wide open. And kids think that the grown-up know everything because we give them that perception that we know everything. And we don't know nothing just as like they don't know nothing. So if we tell them, they will tell us anything if we tell them that I don't know everything. What you got going on? Because we can learn from anybody, man. Anybody can learn from anybody. You just got to be open to it. My process.
And I'll tell you another thing: children love discipline. And I ain't talking about physical force.
I'm talking
about, they love discipline and structure. They love boundaries. You tell them, no, we can't go there. They may react a certain way, but they respect. They crave that. You know, this is what I say about the what's going on in the streets and the crime and the violence and that 17, 18-year-old. People look at children or people who commit crime as monsters or thugs and all that stuff. I looked at them as traumatized victims because that 17 or 15-year-old who pulled a trigger, if I go back to him when he's 5, 6-year-olds, I'm going to see abuse. I'm going to see trauma, neglect, abandonment, you know, all that stuff. So by the time he gets 16, 17, that's a hopeless. I don't give up. So if I don't care about me and nobody instilled self-esteem and self-love in me, why would I care about the next man? For the next person, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that you can't be held accountable, but I don't want to just look at our children and just because they make a mistake, and that's a huge mistake by killing somebody, you just throw them away. And it's not like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know who Charles Dutton is, the guy that played Rock back in the 90s, TV show Rock.
Actor. Playing Rudy.
He committed a murder way back in the day.
Ray Lewis.
I mean,
Ray Lewis allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. So I'm just saying people can be reformed. Now that's again, you got to be accountable for your actions, but we can't throw human beings away. Again, America makes billions of dollars locking people up.
Yeah, we
particular our people, you know, and that's what they do. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about us because these solutions gonna come from us.
Yeah.
We can't, I mean, you know, it's cool to push, you know, like I said, Gwen McKenzie's are great, you know, but they few and far between. You know what I'm saying? Those people who are elected officials who are going to really say, you know, I don't care if I get reelected or not. I don't care. I'm not in about this money. I'm about this community and children. They're few and far between. A lot of these cats about that paper. They're about their
paper. I don't know what paper they trying to go for. They don't get.
Well, you know what? I mean, y'all both from Knoxville, man. When you make a little crumbs, you think you balling in the city because it's so impoverished.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So anybody get a little bit more than the next man, they got this attitude of they doing better. And they really not because it can be snatched away.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. I mean, they've done a really good job, the power structure here, of lulling us to think we just small. We can't obtain power. We can't go after it. Our children don't dream big because we don't dream big.
Yeah. So that's the key thing. So because I want to touch on real brief before we let you go. I know you've been, but when it comes down to what exactly does unique stand for? And then also because you're talking about doing something that people that's in that like, you know, that they're past that. They want, like you said, they want some money. They want, you know, and it's in education and being educated is not even fun anymore. So, like, how did you take a concept that was kind of boring to the normal where we come from, that's the culture, to making it where it's important? And what
about education?
Yeah, education. Yeah, what unique?
Man, see, the thing of it is, it's like children tell me, and I'm gonna get back to the unique, what it stands for in a minute. I don't like to read. Yeah, that's a lie. You on TikTok, you on Instagram, you on Facebook. You got to read to get on these things. You got to click on the mouse. You got to do something. It's the material you're reading. Or the person that's teaching you it's boring. I don't like math. That's a lie. You like money. You like playing video games. Video games is physics and all this other stuff. That's all higher forms of math. You'll sit there and play for 8 hours a video game and go to different levels. You love math. It's just you got to connect the dots. You know, if you talk to, like, 1 year, years ago, I would teach a math class they had this GED when Knoxville College was open. They had this GED class for people who first time offenders who got locked up for drugs, and part of their probation they had to get this GED. So I taught the math class. The first thing I did, I said, okay, most of y'all in here for a drug offense, selling or whatever, right? Now I'm not a police. I'm just letting you know. I'm not trying to set you up. Okay. I want you to tell me step A, B, C, D, the drug game. Okay. You know, right? Cocaine. Okay. How do you slice it up? What do you slice it? How do you cook it? Boom, boom, boom. What are the products you need? Just how you sell it, the 1st and the 15th, all that stuff. I said, that's a chemist right there. That's an accountant. You better than most accountants because you keep the numbers in your head. You ain't got no paper. That's, a chemist. This is economy. You have people who are economists. You can go in the stock market and predict this, that, and the other. All you need is that education on the other side. If you combine your street smarts with education that they have to offer out here, and you can get that on your own, you will out Bill Gates. Bill Gates, you will run, the guy around Jeff Bezos ain't got nothing on these cats on the streets.
Yeah.
He ain't got nothing. He just got connections. He got a little bit more knowledge than the next person. He got some inside. But these kids on these streets, oh no, y'all geniuses.
Trevor,
you geniuses. You know what I'm saying? We gotta have opportunity and resources to take what teach you. You got to learn how to read.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let no next man. That's why I like athletes. 70% of NFL players are broke within 3 years because they depended on somebody else to count their money and read their contracts instead of them taking the time to learn how to do that for themselves. You get an agent 20% and he got 30 clients. He getting paid. He can do that to you. Oh, your body breaks down in football real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to start teaching our babies. Look, you can do it. Joshua Dobbs used to play for UT football. He got a aerospace engineer degree. He's playing in the NFL and he got a job at NASA on the off season, and he can play the piano. He's a classical pianist.
Kevin Johnson, the Megatron.
Yeah, Detroit.
Yeah.
So they gonna never be broke.
That 20% you paying that agent could be a whole nother business.
Yes.
When you off the field.
Yes, but see, if we educated Calvin Johnsons and the Joshua Dobbs at 4, 5, 6 years old, the concept of business, the concept of other things while they playing, if that was incorporated in their lesson plan, oh man, those kids will be out in these streets recruiting their friends and look, I got this business. I need you to get off these streets. These 17-year-olds will be the Fred Hamptons of the day and be recruiting these kids and get them off these streets, and we'll make an empire. But we have to set up our own institutions. This is what I do, STEAMY Learning Institute. But UNIQUE stands for UUNIK. That's 5 of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. I'm a big acronym guy, and I just incorporate that in my daily lessons, like Umoja, unity, Ujamaa, cooperative economics, Nia, purpose, Imani, faith, Kujichagulia, self-determination, because those things and concepts need to be taught in our children daily. You know what I'm saying? So I just create UNIQUE Academy.
Were you ever part of Tribe One?
Huh?
Were you ever part of Tribe One back then?
I knew them. I knew Danny Mayfield. I knew Chris Woodall. But now I was on my own.
Okay.
I was like, Danny was my boy back in the day. Love Danny, RIP.
Yeah.
But I just wanted something that was unique. First of all, Knoxville don't see a lot of Black-led programs that Black men run.
That's true.
It's cool to collaborate with other folks, but we need to solve our own. These kids need to see us in leadership positions, running it.
And that's one thing.
It's like we just have this mindset. We got to have other folks they don't have me in the country club at Cherokee when they're striking these deals, $1 million deals. Now, when they start doing that, then, but I want to be that representation where Black men can do it on our own with our community. You know what I'm saying? That's not to say I got white people support me financially, but I run this. I don't want you all up trying to make this and something else. My mission is to say, our children, even though like I have an ACT prep, my ACT prep is open to all children. I have white, Black, Hispanic in my ACT prep, but my STEAMY summer, my calling on males, all my other stuff, those are directed to my babies because they are the ones the most in need.
Well, look, you just said a key thing. I bet your ACT prep though probably is full of more others than Blacks though, is it not?
No.
Really?
You see my commercial?
I seen that. Was that intentionally that you done that? Was that the STEAMY or was that your actual ACT prep? Because
say it again. I'm sorry.
STEAMY, was that for the STEM program you have, or was that for actual ACT prep? Was that commercial I did see? Was that which one was that? Was it like intentional?
The commercial was for the ACT prep.
All right.
But no, look, I started ACT prep in 2015 because before then, I thought the schools took care of all of that. I just assumed that schools, you know, black kids were getting all this stuff in the schools. And so another guy who has his own program here, and he was like, man, I need some help running this ACT prep. Well, it was another teacher, as a teacher at Vine they were connected with too. And so I would help him with his program. And then I end up running it. And, you know, the guy wasn't there half the time. So I said, if I'm going to put all this energy and effort to it, I'm going to do it myself. And so I just kind of shifted that to ACT because I swear I thought the schools would take care of it. And then it was like, no. And then like I do it twice a year. I have at least 20 to 30 kids in the class, each class. And they're mostly black. Most of them black kids. I haven't really caught on in the white community yet, but most of black schools, I get it out to all the schools. I got to connect in the school system. She helps me get it out to link to all the schools. I put it out there because I think, and I try to recruit them like 7th, 8th, 9th grade, 10th grade. I don't do no seniors. And I take a few 11th graders because I believe like college, you shouldn't be preparing your kids to college in 11th, 12th. You should be doing that in 6th, 7th, 8th grade. And they shouldn't be taking no nothing. They should take the actual test. It's like you don't take a preliminary. You don't go to the preliminary football game. You practice and then you play.
Yeah.
So why are you pre-ing this? They making money off this pre-ACT pre. No, if you can, you know what a noun, pronoun, all this stuff is. You know, the only part that my 7th, 8th graders ain't got was the math because it's a higher form of math. But they can do the English, they can do the reading, they can do the science part. I just give them strategies. And they can master it. And this exposure, if I expose these children early, they'll master it. My elementary boys, my son, the kids I work with, they said 5, 6, 7 years old. I'm teaching them ACT words. My son know at least 100 of them. Right. Rattled off like that. Because these kids can be, your 4 or 5 year, I put that in his face.
Right.
And they will know that all day long. Because they thirsting for that knowledge. You feed babies at that age. They want knowledge at 3, 4, 5. They asking you a million questions. Where you going? What you doing? Why you do it that way? You know, you just feed them.
And like how you teaching them that and feeding them repetition. That's how like when kids buy video games and they get garbage at the video game, but they keep playing it over and over. That's right.
The key is repetition, intensity, and frequency. You do something repetitive, you be intent about it, and do it frequent, it's gonna stick like glue.
And this is the reason why, before we let you go, this is the reason why I mentioned that because about the probably been in their class of others.
Yeah.
Because they are actually introducing their kids things very, very early. Like DeAndre just mentioned my goddaughter. That's my goddaughter, Delaney.
Oh my, that's my girl.
Yeah, but so Delaney, Delaney and Dre and his son volunteers. His son volunteered for my summer program. So that's my people, the Jacksons family. Right. So that's my family as well. I mean, that's a whole nother story. That whole thing. Dre was like that guy, like you were to them kids that grew up and married. Dre was like that for me. So it's like it for me. So the thing is that, but their parents are telling them about stuff early and telling them about stuff often. So when they get there and get ready, they're already ready to go.
Yeah.
My kids are getting exposed to things early and often. So when I was in college, I went to this pastor's house and sat down with him, had dinner with him and his family and all that. This white couple. And they were talking, these kids were like 7 years old, 10, and they're already talking about college then. And they talking about all this stuff early, like, man, and they exposed to it already. So but I was a freaking 19, 20.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing about conversation they having when I'm 19 and 20. I ain't have those, not that my mother couldn't. She wasn't privy to a lot of those things because she was getting exposed to things and trying to raise up at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why a lot of times I mention that, because a lot of times we don't have the exposure to that. So it's good to see that you're doing that with Unique. It's good to see that you're doing with your STEMI program and a call of, you said, what's the program with the men and the girls?
Calling all males and ACT prep. And I also do a college career fair at Vine Middle School. I'm really tied into Vine. I'm like a community partner at Vine. Outside of COVID, I'll be there all the time. I know the staff, I know the kids. And I started that in 2009, because typically college fairs, they go to high schools.
Yeah.
Like, that's too late. I said, let's go younger. And now other groups go to elementary schools based off what I did at Vine. So we get the whole school, but I'll bring people, black engineers, black dentists. See, Knoxville got all this stuff, but the children and the black people don't know about it.
Mhm.
You know, black faculty members,
It's not highlighted.
No, so we got to expose our children to what is here, you know. And so if I can expose a black dentist or a black, I think she's still a fire captain. It's a black woman's a fire captain in this town, you know, showing these girls and these boys, hey, look, this is the possibility. And also I bring KUB utility company, because they make good money out there. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about a minimum wage and stuff. You know, that's really good. Those professions, you should be looking at plumbers. You know, you should be looking at being an electrician, a carpenter,
trade,
a computer programmer. Man, you can make money. You can do that. You can be coding. I got a high school. I do a coding class too online. And I got this kid out of Atlanta. He's a high school senior. Teach children how to code, make their own apps, make their own games. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff that, you know, should be in school. That's what I want to do. You know, my elementary school, I got a partner of mine went to UT. He's a pianist, jazz pianist. He teaches piano. I got a Spanish teacher. I got a retired engineer. He teaches STEM. You know, so those are the things we got to do for ourselves. We got to stop waiting on and begging. I'm not saying not push that button on because we paying tax dollars, so a portion of it should come back to us. But in the meanwhile, let's build our own.
Yeah.
But tell us right now, people saying they surprised they ain't heard about you before, they don't know about you, and those people are all on the west side of town.
Oh, cool.
Know about you. Tell them how they can get in touch with you.
First, I'm gonna give you my number: 865-384-4475. Let me say it again: 865-384-4475. You can go to my website, uunikacademy.org. uunikacademy.org. You can reach out to me. Like I said, we recruiting for our ACT prep. I got a summer school coming, and I also start recruiting kids for my private school. My elementary school is called STEAMY Learning Institute, and that's for grades kindergarten through third for right now. I grow as I grow. So all that's coming up to the plate. Also, if you want to support, we have a drive for 25. You go to my website, drive for 25. And what I'm trying to do, my goal is to get 100 people to donate $25 a month or $250 a year. And that will go towards tuition costs, offsetting tuition costs for my school, because a lot of my youth parents can't afford the tuition. And so we want to offset that cost, because oftentimes you talking about private school, you're talking about people who are well off and send their kids, and we're going to get some of them too. But I want some of our children who are underserved to be up in there. And we have our own private school, black school in Knoxville, private elementary school. So yeah,
we gotta save our babies, man.
Yeah, we gonna save our babies.
And there's no more excuses at all for anyone when Reggie is sitting here saying, like Davett is saying, Reggie is saying, it's basically you come down to a decision you make yourself.
Yeah. And what you gonna say? Let me say this one thing. I have a friend. She used to used to be a principal at Fair Garden, and every August she would invite me to do a parent orientation. And so I have all these black parents, white parents in the room or whatever. And, you know, Fair Gardens for 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. And one thing I would say every year, I said, I'll pick a parent. I say, Troy. Let's say Troy. I said, if I had both of your babies kidnapped, I kidnap both of your babies. And I said, Troy, you need to give me $2,500 within 24 hours. What's your response?
I'm going to get it.
That's what most parents say. That's how education is for me. It's life and death.
No excuse.
You got to, if mama got to walk, you know, if baby got to catch the bus, whatever you got to do to put your baby in the best situation, you got to do it. There is no excuses. There is no excuses. There is no excuses. If you got to drive across town to make sure that your child you do that for football and basketball. In the summertime, we'll go across the country in these AAU tournaments, frying chicken, raising money, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying not to do that, but you can't put that same energy to ensuring that your child have a great chance of being successful in this world. It's life and death for me. It's life and death. There is no excuses. There are people, I know I got parents in the projects. Mr. Reggie, I want to be in. What I need to do. And they'll do it. You know what I mean? So we got to see the urgency in that, man. Because you see out in these streets, it ain't no game. If you ain't saving them at 5, you're gonna lose them at 15.
Davett said, argue with your mama. Don't argue with me.
I love the bet. Use that. Use that. That's gonna be on the shirt. Bet. Argue with your mama. Don't argue with me.
Hey, I might go ahead and you better get that shirt before I get it, Davett.
I love the bet, man. I love her. But
that's that's what you just said, basically. Don't argue with me about all this excuse stuff and to get to a point where you just need to do it.
Yeah, there's no argument. I don't mind entertaining, but you bringing the fact it remains. Like Troy, you know what you're doing. Y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all have a profession. That's not my lane. I can't argue with you about real estate or financial or this, that, and the other. I can't argue with y'all. I'll be a fool arguing with you because that's not my lane. But you're going to come to me, an educator? You know, I got my PhD in doing it. You know, I got a degree in statistics, but that UT didn't teach me what I know now. So you're going to tell me what I should be doing and how I should be doing. I have, like in the summertime, my parents complain because I give them so much homework. I don't know, you know it until you can go home and do it.
Yeah.
But after a while, they get it, you know, because in the fall, when they go back to school, I have kids who are 5 years old and bored for 3 months because we have been all through that in 7 weeks. Because mine is accelerated. I got to accelerate these brains. These babies learn faster. You know, I can teach you. Man, you know, you got 9th graders in Knoxville that can't multiply and divide. My son is 7 and learning that.
He right there behind you. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what's 12 times 12 right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
He got the pad, didn't he?
Yeah, he wants the pad. So
what I heard about this conversation too, people don't make excuses for what they want to do.
Yeah.
But will for what they need to do.
Stop it. I'm done.
I mean, look, you go to most households, you can buy a $300 game console, you can buy $200 shoes. You know what I'm saying? You buy $50 for these games. You know what I'm saying? Christmas, I went without on a lot of Christmases. I wasn't hurting because mom and daddy kept the light and roof on. They sit down and explain to them, look, we don't have the money to buy you things. We got to keep the light. I was cool. I learned at an early age, if I want something, I can my own. And they didn't make my mom or dad bad of people. I don't want them breaking their neck. The light bill ain't paid to give me a game.
Right.
A game, buy some books for Christmas. Like Davett said, create some trust funds, create some investment tools for your babies. You know, if you think your kid gonna go to college, start it when they born. Get them go to talk to the vet and set up some insurance. So by the time they 17, 18, that's paid for. You know what I mean? Don't wait till they juniors and seniors. And because that's why I do my ACT prep and my college prep. Because I want these babies to go for free or don't go at all. Why would I want you to get a 50? I went through that. Me and my wife went through those student loans, man. It took to me in my 40s to pay that off. I ain't trying to set up no kid like that. $1.9 trillion debt in the United States. And Biden ain't giving no relief.
Hey, he just said he's backed up on this. I ain't doing
giving no relief. See that? This false hope. These politicians will tell you anything until they get in office and they bagging up. No. Because that's banks. Bankers rule. You're not going to take money out of banks. You're not going to take money out of Wall Street. You're not going to take money out of banks. They want you in debt. Hey. So you know what we got to do? We got to train our babies.
Providing the need, teacher. I'm providing the need. I'm providing a need. That's the whole.
I'm not. Hey, that's your job. I know. I'm just being real. I'm not like.
That's fact.
We got to get banks. We got to get loans for homes because most of us can't afford no. Ain't got no $100,000 stash. We get loans for cars. You know what I'm saying? We get loans for certain things. Yeah. But for going to school,
I learned it. Yeah.
I ain't trying to hear, especially in the state of Tennessee, you can go to school for free for 2 years at the 2-year colleges and then transfer. I'm not trying to hear that, man. I'm not trying to set these kids up for failure. You know, and STEM is it. Parents, if your child ain't learning coding or artificial intelligence or cybersecurity or information technology or drone or something like that, these labor jobs are going.
Yeah, so you just said. So when people got to realize when you start increasing pay,
yeah,
it's just the basic level. They just gonna say, don't worry about it. We don't need them people no more. How many times I tell them, Trevor, the other day, how many times you go to Walmart and you got 35 aisles, one of them open for one checking out, and they got the other ones, all the other ones upset.
Yeah,
I saw McDonald's like that. I think it was in Texas or somewhere. They testing how to have it to where they don't have no cashiers.
So while we fighting for give me the 15, give me the 12, okay, there's no problem. They just won't have you there.
Yeah. So what are your child gonna do? So you know what they preparing for your child? More prisons, more graveyards, more prisons, more graveyards, more prisons, more graveyards. You got to get up on it. You can't don't complain about the public school system. Your kid is there from 8 to 3. What is he doing from 3 to 7? What is he doing on Saturdays? What is he or she doing on Sunday afternoon? Look, I like I said, I'm not anti-sport. I played. But if your child is struggling at 5, 6, 7 years old, I would spend the next 3 years getting their schooling and education tight. So when they do engage, they can multitask. Because if he's talented at 5, running, jumping, he'll be talented at 10. His talent ain't going nowhere. He's still developing and growing.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So to get the fundamental educational stuff down first, then at 10, 11, 12, if he wants to play, if he's going to be a star, he's going to be a star. You know what I'm saying? But we got to reprioritize stuff. And we got to see the word. Stop blaming. Take the onus. My child is my child. My child is my child. My child is my child. It's my response. My wife and I's responsibility in all facets. Education, health, spirit, whatever. That's my job. I'm not going to listen to nobody else. Even when I take my child to the doctor, I'm going to know what he knows.
Oh, my wife get on me every day about, Troy, you're not the doctor, but
you are the doctor.
Look, so this is my last thing, and I'm gonna let Trev finish it out. And then my question is this: what are your thoughts when someone say y'all need to help us?
Well, that's just a conditioning, man. They've conditioned black people to be like that. Mm-hmm. Just like they condition black people to say, well, the church needs to do more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from Memphis. They got over 5,000 black churches in Memphis. Too many, way too many. They need to cut that. 7% of them need to be gone. Because they're just sitting there. Yeah. So I'm like, we have to get out of that. We're looking for a Messiah. Yeah. That's what it is. It's a Messiah complex. Yeah. And don't understand, when you talk about God, you got to activate the God within. No. You got to activate the spirit, because that's the most place, the spirit, the most important place the spirit resides within you. Because that spirit got you up in the morning. That spirit gives you energy. So you got to activate that. So when you were born and you wake up in the morning, you have everything you need to go out in this world and compete and make your family whatever. You got that inside of you. You just got to believe that. And you got to take that onus away from the system is doing what it's supposed to do. The school system was designed in the late 1800s to produce laborers and managers of laborers. Now it's a third tier. It was a prison, school to prison pipeline. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't designed to produce geniuses. Yes, some fall through the crack, but they weren't designed to that. Because you know what? If it was a rule, these kids wouldn't be in the streets. They'd be running to the schools because it's giving them everything they need. But it wasn't designed to that. And I'm not hating on. I got plenty of people, my friends who are principals, assistant principals, and teachers. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the system.
Yeah. I'm talking about the system. The system.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people think I'm hating on teachers. No, I'm not hating on teachers. Now, there's some suck teachers in Knox County. They garbage. I don't have no problem saying it. You know what I'm saying? Some of these teachers don't care about these kids. It's real. The children will tell you that. If a child tells me enough time that Miss such and such don't like me, and enough of them singing and saying the same thing, I got to take some onus to that. But we got to get out of that. Y'all got to help us. Y'all got to help us, instead of saying, how can I help myself? Mm-hmm. Now, that's not, again, the government, we paying taxes. You should be accountable to us. But I should be doing this and that. I'm not going to come to you without a plan. Mm-hmm. A lot of us come begging and we don't, okay, what you want done? I don't know. Y'all need to do something. Yeah. A politician's job. A politician's job is to serve you, but you better come with a plan.
Yeah, so even when somebody listening, and then they listen to you, like I tell Trevor, like I was going back and forth, me and Trevor go back and forth with Trevor say nobody's listening. But then after you done listen, and now what? no one is, well, like you just said, tell me what I need to do. No. You need to make a decision of what you want. My mama got us out the projects because she decided that she don't want to be here anymore. That makes sense?
Yeah.
She had all the things given to her. I was talking to her the other day about that. And she was telling me, yeah, people got to do this and people got to do that. And I said, but mama, when did it come to a point in your time, a time in your life where you made the decision to do it? She said, well, you're right. I made the decision to do it. All the time to come down to the person making the decision. Now I'm done. Trevor, go ahead. Let me go ahead and get my man got stuff to do. He got a son running around. We got
man. My bad. I love running my mouth. Y'all go ahead.
Hey man, we appreciate you coming on the podcast, fam. You welcome back anytime to the podcast. The listeners that listen to our podcast, what would you tell them about like your school and what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish in the community, family?
Well, I would ask them their support. We're small. We got less than a handful of students because of COVID. And I'm trying, my goal is to get a building. I'm trying to get a building. Got a realtors working with me getting the building, but we really need help as far as the finances, because if you can just support Strive for 25, and I'll tell you my vision. My school will be less than 50 children, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create satellite schools. My model, automation model, is Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A runs a system, fast food system, like nobody's business. And so I want to create little satellite schools, actually try to reach other cities, because I got parents in Nashville that's calling me and like, hey, and I want to be there. But I got to get funding through the people. Like I said, $25 a month, $250 a year. My goal is to get 100. This year we got like 40 people is committed, and they give monthly. $25 ain't a lot of money, and it's going to a good cause. Yeah. So just support that. You can call me 865-384-4475, and let's save our children, not just in Knoxville, but in Chat, Nashville, Memphis, Jackson.
There it is, man.
I'm gonna put all your information in the description at the end of the podcast, my brother, and we highly appreciate you coming.
Thank you all. Y'all got to invite me back now. I love this.
Yes, sir.
Well, we appreciate you, Reg.
Y'all take care.
Thank you, family.
All right.
Well, Trevor, is really, we
what it do, fam?
Let it digest a little bit. Let's give a round of applause to both our guests today. Reggie was saying something basic, but saying you have to make a decision for yourself.
Yeah. I tell people that we need to listen to individuals at the end of the day, but once that person listens to you, what decision are you going to make?
Ooh. Exactly.
Ooh.
When it comes down to it, what are you going to end up doing, man? And so he brought both of our thought process together. Trevor been on the listen thing. I'm on the thing. We done listen to when we listen, what's going to happen next? And he just mentioned about the cycle that continues to go over and over and over again.
Over and over and over again. Hey, and Facebook user, you said info, please. If you would please go over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. The Two Brothers Podcast, spelled like it is in the logo. When you read the description, once we off this podcast, all of Reggie's information to be in there. All of Davett's information to be in there. If you want to call in, the number is at the bottom right now to discuss what you heard and what you want to do, how you want to get involved with what the two brothers are attempting to do now.
And Jim, he's coming to Blount County, Anderson, all them. He said he want to make some satellite locations.
Yeah.
So, but Trevor, did you notice something? He was a black male. How often do you see black males doing that?
Never.
We used to seeing females.
Yeah, we haven't. He's the first male that's been on the Two Brothers Podcast.
No.
Black.
Yeah, but educational wise for sure.
Yes, sir.
But we got other men like that as well. So I got my boy Dre. He gonna be coming on here sometime. He's actually running a program called Penultimate, which is basically helping individuals that's coming from out of high school. Like the page basically helping those kids that Reggie said at that time it's time for them to make some other decisions. That's where Dre coming at with Penultimate. He went to UT as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's some big things happening in Knoxville that people just not aware of, and that's what the two brothers do. God dang it, we make them aware of it.
Hit it again, fam. I missed that the whole podcast. Okay,
because people say, why ain't I heard about that? That's what we supposed to do. You're not gonna hear about it because you know why? It didn't come from us. Two brothers, man. Man, we don't have to prolong this show no more, man. We dropped. School was in session. Class was in session. Things were been happening. Jules, freaking knowledge with $1 million worth of game plus was dropped today.
$2 million.
We gonna touch a couple things though. I know it's a couple things you wanted to touch on because we had a lot. Mm-hmm. But I do want to know this. Did you see when Biden, like your boy said, Biden backed up off of that student loan, didn't he?
Biden said that we ain't giving y'all no 50,000. We might give y'all 10.
I wish you had the video when he said when he's walking by like this. The woman was talking. And then she said, you know, I'm struggling. I want to get some things done. And you mentioned about 50,000. Oh, it ain't going to happen.
Text it to me if you can, fam.
It ain't going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
He said, I ain't. That's what he said. I'm not doing it. Mm-hmm. Like, dang, bro, you was talking about paying all of it. Mm-hmm. To some of it to now you really talking about I'm barely getting you 10.
Yeah, I might give you 10.
I might give you 10. God dang.
And the folks voted him in. Why people want their stimulus check? They ain't got their $1,400 yet.
It's a lot of money, man. We're gonna have to be paying for it, dog. What it is.
And when you get your $1,400, you know who you need to contact?
Who need to contact?
Davett Jones, so she can tell you what to do with that money to make $1,400, $14,000. Wow. No,
she might be one. She might want this.
Don't stop, get it. Don't stop, get it.
The way Davett was talking about, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Get it. You know, she get it done, man. Mm-hmm. But
that's a factual statement.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. We dropped some knowledge today. There's been some. I hope people got a lot from it. Not the typical. We had 2 guests back to back, but they hit them on the head with it, man.
They was hitting them in the forehead today, man. And I was highly appreciative of both of those individuals. And Gwen McKenzie was on. She was just on Facebook though.
She probably dropped some comments.
Yeah, she dropped those comments and she didn't come to YouTube, man. We appreciate you, Gwen McKenzie, and we appreciate everything you're doing. The two brothers love you to death, man.
And so let's hit them with a quick hit them with the curious. Then we done hit the education. You want to hit the relationship right quick?
Yeah, let's hit the relationship. Let's hit the relationship topic. We didn't do all. You know, we gotta hit. Let's just be swift with it. We gotta hit all 3: just curious, relationship. Remember when? Then the two brothers gonna roll out. We're gonna roll out, family.
Hit that one more time.
Don't stop.
I know what he talking about. That's what Dre a trip. So go ahead, hit him with the relationship first. I got one for you.
Okay. I got one relationship, and my relationship question today is: in some relationships, it's one person who likes to spend their money on material things, and the other person that's in the relationship likes to spend their money on experiences. Can those two people coexist and continue to further their relationship? Or do you think those two people will get into turmoil because their interests are different? Like if the man was materialistic and the woman like experiences, she like going on trips and doing things, or if the woman was materialistic and the man like experiences and going on trips, anything, do you think those people financially can coexist?
You know, my wife said something last night. We was talking, and she said our relationships are basically about people bending.
Okay.
You gotta be able to bend accordingly. If people are willing to accommodate each other and bend for each other, then they can coexist. If you're not willing to bend, like she mentioned last night, I listen to my wife too now. She said, people doing this person doing that, and the other person just standing still, then it's not gonna last.
It's a done deal.
So you gotta be able to, so it can't coexist if people are willing to bend.
Okay.
If you're not, no. But then you gotta put some boundaries in place too. Now everybody gonna be broke.
Yeah. Because I like experiences. You like Maseratis. Yeah. I want to go on a trip, but you want a Maserati.
Yeah. And I can't do it. I can't do the trip now. You talking about we don't never do nothing together. Well, we broke.
Yeah. We've been in the same city for 5 years, but you riding around in this Maserati up and down Kingston Pike.
We've been in the same apartment complex for 5 years, but you riding in the Maserati Bentley.
Yeah, I ain't seen no other city or town. I'm tired. I gotta go.
You can't even go on the flight. You can't even drive the car because you can't put no gas in it because you spend all the goddamn money.
Yeah. Are you going on all these trips and I can't get the Maserati? I'm riding around in the Gremlin.
You in the Gremlin, in the old school box Chevy.
Yeah, that's a fact, fam.
The bench seat that you can't move the seat no more. You don't move the back.
Every month we out of town, but when we come home, we riding around in the Gremlin.
In the Gremlin. Oh, because you talking about we just riding in to save gas. No, we ain't got no money.
That's fact.
The car on the dang on repo truck, god dang.
What's your relationship topic, family?
My relationship question, did you actually believe that Kanye and Kim was gonna last? Right. Do it, leave it in the comments. Did y'all actually believe that Kanye and Kim was gonna last? And then this is my next question to that though, Trev. Does celebrities only need to talk to celebrities, or can they mess with a regular person?
Yeah, can you be worth $1 billion and mess with the man that work at the post office now?
What is that? It gotta be the post office, bro.
The post office.
But so the first question is, I'm asking you, Trev, I'm asking anyone else too. Or call in with it. The number at the bottom.
The number at the bottom. That's my number too this week, fam.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Do I got it on?
Don't worry about it. You better make sure it's on. They calling in, can't get in. But
yeah, I put the phone on.
Do not disturb.
Not disturb, so it wouldn't ring during the podcast. But if y'all call in, it got the ring. So I get your number. But is it finalized yet? Is Kanye?
No, it may not be finalized yet. But what I'm saying is, could you expect it to actually last though? Not saying you're gonna be judge and jury. Just getting your inside scoop.
I didn't expect it to last. Just being honest. But I would like for it to last. I like love. I want everybody to love each other permanently forever.
Well, Jim said she had the crazy looking face and said no, but it's the celebrity. Do you expect celebrity relationships to last in celebrity? I mean, do you really expect celebrity relationships to last, period?
Nah, I don't because both of y'all have so many options in the world. Y'all can do anything y'all possibly could dream of doing. And I don't think I haven't seen what celebrity relationships have you seen last forever?
They got some, but you never hear about them. They ain't in the news.
Yeah.
They ain't nothing. No, because a regular person isn't used to your lifestyle, and that won't and they want normal, and that is different for both folks. So I say that, can a celebrity get with a regular person? Because my wife watched a lot of that. She watched E a lot, and E always talking about the royal crown people over there in the UK and all that, or wherever they at. And you know the brother's married to Meghan. I think it's Harry, married to the light skinned girl. Yeah. He done gave away all his rankings for his lady. Well, or he might have wanted to do it for himself, but he done gave up all his royal rankings.
He ain't even royalty no more.
He's still there, but he can't wear none of his stuff no more. He can't do nothing no more.
He live in
California.
Yeah, somewhere in Cali.
They saying his brother and them hot. Cause you got, you signed up for that now.
Yeah, it's permanently. Don't supposed to be permanent.
Yeah, so but now when you decide to step down, period, make a relationship work takes time and investment. That they invest all their time in their careers.
That's true.
But that's what I'm saying. When I say about, even though old girl wasn't a regular, she was a somewhat celebrity in her own right. You own the royalty status. You know what I'm saying?
You royalty. Like
it don't matter. Them cameras in your face. They expect you to do certain things. You got to walk in, act like you like people, and you don't. That's what come with the territory.
Yeah.
So could you really expect something to last if you're not ready for that?
The booty contract must be.
I was just going. God dang! I was going. It's still in effect.
I give up my royalty.
It must be that real deal, huh?
Wee boy. That's super soaker.
But besides that, is the booty contract in play? Is the booty contract in play when you both celebrities? And you tired of that. You tired of begging. You tired of asking. And you got
Jada Pinkett now, that contract, she broke the contract.
She said she was entangled.
Entanglement.
But she said she's entangled. But it's interesting, to see how that works out.
They going in the comment section, fam. What they talk about? I see Dolly.
We talking about relationships that actually last. But look, they said Angela Bassett, Dolly Parton. Who are their husband or spouse name? What's their name?
Obama, Samuel Davis.
Samuel Jackson. No, him and his wife still together. Samuel Davis. Who was that? Ain't he his wife?
Sammy Davis, he dead, ain't he? Sammy Davis Jr. I don't know.
But still, the relationships are still in play, but they typically not talked about in the media though. Like they really discreet, low key.
Because we see these names, but we don't see who the other is, the significant other.
Y'all better not say stabbing in Oprah either. God dang it, that don't count. All right. Well, okay. We off the relationship thing. I just want to know what your thoughts were on that. So. What you got for Just Curious? Because I got some couple of Just Curiouses on you.
I got a couple of Just Curiouses, but we just need to do one apiece this time.
Yeah, we're going to.
Yeah, we at the 2-hour mark already. The two brothers don't work it out.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, so
and before you say, let y'all know this too. If y'all want to throughout the week, drop us an inbox or get on the page and talk about, hey man, tell us what your Just Curious may be, your relationship talk might be.
Yeah,
I remember when we want to hear about y'all too. It ain't just about us.
Yeah, the two brothers. We're family here in the Two Brothers podcast. It's the La Familia, man.
Drop it on them, Trev.
Okay, so my Just Curious this week is we was talking about the violence with Mr. Reggie today. We was talking about the violence. So are we more aware of all the violence that's going on because of social media? Or has it always been like this? Has it always been like this? And we just wasn't aware because social media didn't exist. Or now that social media exists, we just seeing all this violence every day, every 5 minutes. It's not just Knoxville, it's everywhere. That young artist, that rapper,
Alabama.
Yeah, they shot his granddaddy and grandmama and then burnt the house down with them in it. That's ridiculous.
Demon.
Well, even known that without social media.
Because I ain't heard nothing about the news on it. I'm not in Alabama.
Yeah,
but we heard about it through social media stuff. Oh, that's good, Trev. That's good right there, man.
Has this always been going on and we just more aware because of social media? And do we need to fast like how I've been doing off social media so we can have a breath of fresh air? Because I'm tired of seeing all this foolishness, to be honest with you. I think I might never come back. Might do a podcast.
Make sure y'all subscribe to the Two Brothers on YouTube. Don't keep listening to that. I know you get a lot of notification from people, but let that be the only thing you look at. Let us inform you about.
At least we trying to have some positivity and some intellectual conversations, and we trying to team up with y'all and see what we can do to work it out. Brothers gonna work it out. Man. So we ain't with all that foolishness or whatever. We might be aware of it, but I get fatigued being aware of it.
Yeah, that is get fatiguesome. But that's a good question though. Is it because social media? What y'all think? Is it because social media has made it more aware to us, or has it actually been going on all the time? I think it's because social media is giving us more. It's coming at you, bow, 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 bow. TV, pads, iPods, phones, or not iPads, whatever. All this stuff just coming at you 24/7. I get notifications on a watch. It pop up. Boom! Somebody got. Lord Jesus. I need to get rid of all of these devices, man. That's how I feel. So would you go off the grid? Yeah, you don't want to be that far. But after that, yeah, you don't want to be out of the matrix too much. Just not. We talked about the van thing. Don't be surprised if I be doing this podcast from a van in Colorado in about a year. You know what I'm saying? But it is getting worse, Dre. It is, and my mom, she says both. I think that Ebony said, I think we are just seeing it more. We have always known it goes on. Yeah, that's true. It's been in our face. When we lived in it, we seen it all the time. Yeah. But it wasn't always on, but we hear more about what's going on in other cities and states very much faster now. We heard, like, if something was to happen in like Florida today, somebody get killed 5 minutes ago, we'll know about it immediately. Breaking news.
reported on instantly. And that's crazy, man. That the people that live 5 minutes away from it might not know about it, and you
know about it quick.
Yeah, because of your device.
Social media, Tommy said social media gives away more access and opportunity. We live in, we want gratification right now. That's true. We want gratification today.
Okay, what you curious about today, my brother?
I'm curious about right here is that this. I want anybody to answer this.
Mm-hmm.
Are we truly over the past? Are you truly over the past, Trev?
Mm-hmm.
Would you move in a neighborhood that's called so-and-so plantation? Yeah, you paused on. Would y'all move in somewhere that has so-and-so plantation?
I would, yeah.
Then why?
Why not?
Why would you?
If it was up my alley where I wanted to live at, and it was you know what I'm saying, nice, and my budget or whatever, and it was, I'd move there. I ain't, so what? Forget it. I ain't, what is it gonna do to me?
Yeah.
We have 3 kids died from one high school in 3 weeks. Before that, we did a podcast about 8 months ago. We had 6 murders in 7 days in Knoxville.
Yeah, it just wasn't from the same place. But you got somebody that, you know, when you got those mass shootings going on, more than 3 people died in that school.
Look, mom said yes, and I buy that mug too. I think we over the plantation.
No, we're not over the plantation. No, I'm not.
Jim said no. Why not? Why not, fam?
Because me and my wife, we got a place down here we could actually easily possibly go buy a crib in. And it's nice stuff over there too. And guess what? Is that a part of systematic racism?
That might be holding you back from.
That's what I'm saying. So they say when we name it plantation, we know they ain't gonna move over here because it's still called a plantation. No, ain't no option change no name. It's called Fairview Plantation.
Yeah,
it's called Turkey Creek Plantation, and they got it purposely.
If you had to live in the projects and they named them College Hills Plantation,
would you move? I bet. Oh, one of the people moved dead. They said, hey, we changed the name to Ridgebrook Plantation.
Would you move out? And how hard you gonna go to move out?
Oh, I bet they probably skipping and throwing stuff out. I'm getting out today.
I'm gonna promote something else one more time. Go buy the book. It's a good book. Who taught you how to be broke? I got mine off Amazon. I supported the lady. She talking all that money. She could have gave me my money back. All that money she got
laying on the floor.
Got the stripper thing, the gun, shooting $100 bills out. I need put that cash out, that $15 back in the Two Brother cash out, all that money.
And then also make sure y'all support. Hey, I'm really considering thinking about doing that. I'm a one-time giver type of guy. I don't sometimes like having the automatic coming out all the time, knowing it's gone like it. It's just me. I'm like, man, what that $25? Oh, that's right.
Oh, okay.
But either way, man. So let's get to the remember when real quick, man. So what you got on the table with the remember when? If y'all got something too, let us know. We love to hear from y'all about your remember when and stuff. So
did you get your haircut at Gams growing up?
I did. And I used to go to Kelly's right next door and give me something to drink.
Do you remember when haircuts was $5?
Golly. And I ain't talking about college. Yeah, I do remember when they was $5. At $10, you were getting designs in your head and everything.
$10. Now you could get $5 ball fade, come up out of fresh face cleaned up and everything. Put the hot towel on everything. $5, no tax,
no tip.
Yeah,
$7, $2. You was straight.
Yeah.
Now you know how much of a haircut's now?
40 or a lineup. Yeah.
And do it again. Oh, little bitty Eddie, little bitty.
I had to do it one time.
Do it. But cause my brother busting heads for them cuts. Though, I gotta be honest, man. He a boss at what he do.
He bought, but he got them crispy.
He got them crispy, got them right, boy. But they gonna be 40 off the strength.
Tell him I want one for $5. See what he say.
He ain't gonna answer the phone.
Beep, beep, beep.
He going straight to voicemail.
Oh, this is Reggie. He ain't paying no attention.
Let me ask you this. Do you remember that uncle that used to have the van back in the day? Not the Astro van. I'm talking about the van that had the little TV in it, the blinds,
A block
Got
TV.
the chairs, had the little table in the middle of the middle of the thing, had a rug.
Plant. Ooh, and it used to
Remember that? Plant in the corner. Do you remember that?
Refrigerator in the truck.
The refrigerator. I mean, it was in the van. Like, you know, you get in, he got all them keys coming out of his pocket. And he get in and got the van, the shagging wagon. With that carpet on the floor.
That I remember that. I remember that fondly.
How much you think? How many miles to the gallon you think they got back in the day in there?
I don't know, fam. Probably 5 miles a gallon.
5 miles to the gallon. That thing is loaded. I mean, that's man. Remember them old school vans with the chairs and the freaking carpet? Ain't got no vacuum in there. Stinking.
That's a fact. That's stinking. Oh man. I'm surprised they didn't have a sink with hot water.
You beat to it.
Hey, my boy Tommy said my daddy had one a sink and all.
And what's crazy, I believe he did. Tommy, big Tommy, probably had a van just like that with the blinds in it.
With the bearskin robe.
They were turning the blinds like that in that little in that van.
If you sitting in the back, it takes so long for the AC to get back there. It's ridiculous. You sweating by the time you get back.
Stinking.
Oh, Jim said it cost me $60 to get my 3 boys haircut, and you getting a discount.
You got a deal. I better say you got a deal. Boys.
Yeah.
Hey.
I want to feel the power of my ancestors and build the riches of my seed and grow for the legends that came after. Okay.
That's not what I feel the power, man. I don't know ancestors coming and touching on me, making them noises and stuff.
Oh, we have passed the plantation. See how fast we move. Yeah, we passed the plantations, mom.
Yeah, I bet I ain't moving in on there. Hear somebody make some noise. Last thing I remember when right quick. Do you remember when Corona first kicked off last year? And man, everybody had a cousin that had a brother that knew somebody used to work at some secret place and send a text out talking about they have a martial law. Everybody got to be in the house at 4 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? It's like every time you turn around, somebody trying to make you scared.
That's a fact.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, we ain't afraid of nothing, man.
They'll just say, hey, yeah, you know this. You heard about so and so, right? My mama just sent me a text, and my granny just sent the text that they knew somebody used to work at somewhere, used to work next to Oak Ridge, and they got the old bombs gonna come up, and they're gonna do martial law at 4:30.
Oh, wait. That's crazy. That was true though. That's true.
Yeah, what you mean? But that's all they kept doing. I was like, man, everybody was trying to scare everybody.
Oh, hurry up and get to Sam's. They got toilet paper today. They gonna you'll be wiping your booty with napkins.
Well, man, look, we appreciate y'all tuning in today. I hope y'all enjoyed it just as much as we have. Man, I had a great time learning, getting to know more about things and people and this thing that's going on in Knoxville. You got people, black people, that's actually financial advisors
making moves.
You got people that's actually owning schools and they're doing ACT prep classes with black kids in it. So, man, I hope y'all enjoyed it just as much as we have. Trev, go ahead, man.
Brothers is going to work it out, and we try our best to work it out for y'all every week. And we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Hit the music, family. Hit the music. So we
there it is. Holla.
Yeah. 2 brothers gonna work it out. Good God. 2 brothers gonna work it out. Not 1 but 2 brothers gonna work